Hey friends, let me show you 10 fun and easy crafts that you can make for Easter today using iron-on, vinyl, sublimation, and paper. We're gonna go through these pretty quick, but I will link the full video down below in the description. Okay, so number one, let's start out with something super easy in iron-on. And so this is just a really sweet little tote that I found at the dollar spot at Target that I'm gonna be using my EasyPress Mini. I thought that it was a much better size for the little ears. And then I have my weeding tool and a pair of scissors. Just use your Cricut to cut out your letters. I used a VARSITY font. Press it on and you're done. Okay, so I went ahead and did Kohl's as well, and so now it's cool to the touch and you just want to weed from one corner to the other. Look how easy that is. Guys, how cute is that, right? So we took a dollar, a little dollar basket from the Target dollar spot, added a very small amount of iron-on, and made something really, really special. Okay, so let's do one more of these little gift bags, and this time we're gonna take it a little bit further and put a design on it as well as the name. And this is just an editable image in Cricut Design Space. And so I am putting everything down below, broken out by project, so you can easily find these designs. So basically what I want to do is I want to layer it because I'm going to put a darker pink on top of the light pink. So I pressed on the light pink and now I'm adding the darker pink, and I'm going to put the film back over top of it to keep everything safe. And then we just have this darling little bag. For our third project, let's make a bunny coffee mug. So we're going to actually use two colors of vinyl. And so what we want to do is we want to pick up the first color using our grid because we have the lettering, and then we want to pick up the second color, clean our mug with some alcohol, and then we will use the transfer tape to take both of them at one time and transfer them over to our mug. And this just keeps you from having any problems with like aligning things and centering things. And then we will just use our scraping tool or our brayer to put that on, peel it off, and voila, beautiful mugs. Okay, so for our fourth project, let's make an Easter wreath. So I got this round from the Target dollar spot, and I got a bunch of moss, multicolored. I placed that on with hot glue, and now I'm just going to take Easter eggs and arrange them in a circle in the center, and then alternating them on the second layer out. And then once I get those all into place, I'm going to put a third layer on top, just arranging them kind of haphazardly between each set. Now, once you get done with that, it is adorable, just like it is. Okay, and for our fifth project, we are going to make the cutest garden flag, Easter garden flag. And don't forget, I have the full length videos linked up below if you want to make these and go step by step with me through each and every little element. So we have our sublimation flag. We've used a lint roller to clean it and make sure that it has no lint on it. We've got our design ready in Canva, and we've printed that out with our sublimation printer. And now it's time for us to protect our heat press and to protect our sheet. So we're just going to get out any wrinkles that might be in it, and then we're going to place parchment paper underneath it, and we will place it between the machine as well. So now what we want to do is just want to get our design set in the correct placement. So I printed these in two different pieces so that I could make it really big. So I have a very large bunny, which is 8.5 by 11, and then I have my welcome to the buyers. Now remember, when you're doing sublimation, a lot like iron-on, you have to mirror image or flip that image, and so that's why it looks like it's backwards. Now we will tear the edges so that we don't have any pressing lines. We'll place everything down with heat tape, measure, make sure we've got everything correct, and then we will peel it away and have a gorgeous design. For our sixth project, we are going to make some darling Easter onesies. And so we just need to have a few materials to cut out our iron-on, and we have our heat press. And so I've gone ahead and just put 4 colors on one mat and cut that out. It's just so much simpler. And that is in the original video, how to do that if you're not familiar with that tip or that trick. And so then we just want to weed everything out When you have so many different elements, the important thing is to generally place them all, generally place them where they should be, especially when they overlap, which this one does, and then remove them and put one as your anchor. So I'm going to use the cross. Funny, right? I'm going to use the cross as my anchor. And so I'm going to put that there and get that heated in place, and then I'm going to start overlaying other things on top of it. Really, the most important thing when you are layering multiple colors is just to take it slowly and make sure that you protect any iron-on that you already have down. So maybe just put the liner back over top of it and go color by color, and you will have gorgeous designs. Now for our 7th design, we are going to make a really simple but darling embroidery hoop with iron-on. I used my Cricut and cut out a really sweet He Is Risen design, and I'm just going to trim around that and go ahead and iron that on to my fabric. I like to iron it on before I cut the fabric out, just to make sure that I have everything centered the way that I want it to be. Pop it into my embroidery hoop, trim away the excess, and put a sweet little ribbon all the way around the edge with hot glue. And voila! For our 8th project, we're going to make some sweet little koozies as gifts for Easter. Okay, so now that I have my design printed out, and again, all the designs are down in the description below, the next thing I want to do is trim everything out and use heat tape to place it on to my koozie. Now, don't forget to use the lint roller and get any excess fuzz off of your koozies. Then we just use our heat tape and we cover it with parchment, and we use our press, and beautiful designs. And for our 9th project, we are going to use Infusible ink and basically knock off a really high-end piece of art from Grandin Road. This turned out really great, and if you want to see the step-by-step, don't forget it's down below in the description. But basically, we used Infusible ink on canvas, which is something I hadn't done before, but it turned out amazing. And then we used Infusible ink pens to further that design. And finally, for project number 10, we used our Cricut Maker, you could use your Explorer too, and cut out fabric to make no-sew appliques by using a Wonder Under product. I just cut out my fabric, and then I applied Wonder Under to the back of it with heat before putting it on the mat. And so then once we've got it on the mat and we've cut out our shapes, we cut out letters and we cut out bunny shapes, now it's time to apply our designs to our bags and to our napkins using heat. They turned out so cute, and you can even do a little embellishment once it's down with thread, and I added a little bunny nose to my applique, and you could even stitch all the way around it as well. My biggest advice is to make sure that you pre-wash your fabric. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm going to link up a few more Easter projects for you to watch next.